This is an eyesore, to be honest with you. I'm looking at this here. A green cast of characters. I forgot my undershirt for my jersey today. So I'm just swimming in my Zach Vaughn jersey ordered from China. That's the risk you take when you, I didn't want to pay what, $180 on the official team website. $30 so I pay my $30 and, well, here we go. We got myself along with Jaws this morning. A happy Friday to you guys.
TGIF.
I gotta say, I love that man, Alec Kreger. You know, that guy from 3 a.m. to 9:30 in the morning holds it down. Did you see what he hit last night?
Nah, he just showed me that McGregor.
Conor McGregor to 8.
It's crazy. Like, if I've never met somebody so, like, statistically, like, elite as much as Kreger is, bro. It's insane.
No,
like, if you want stats, go to that guy.
He's the best. 3 a.m. to 9:30. He holds it down for us. And then, guys, stick around. A shout out Jordana Spivey in here hopping in to do the chomp. Swamp King, I believe we saw 41 autographs in the break we have listed in our store right now. We will be ripping that in just a matter of time.
Yep, me and Patty. Stay tuned.
It's going to be a fantastic day here at Suncoast Sports on a Friday as we lead you into the weekend. If you are just sticking around from the overnight, in case you don't know what's going on, Alan? I know Alan knows. But in case you do not know, we do a little thing called Talkin Slab. We talk some ball, 9:30 to 11, preview some card releases, tell you what's going on in the world of sports and sports cards alike. And at 10 a.m., we have our first giveaway. I'll put out a trivia question, slab or no slab, a little game we like to play. It's a 50-card wheel. 3 of those cards on that wheel are PSA-graded slabs. If you get that trivia question right, you'll have a chance at winning a PSA-graded slab for the free. And then at 10:45 Eastern Time, we run that thing back at 11 a.m.
Yeah,
what's that?
We hit that number 1.
Yeah, that's right. Me and Jaws last week, we did hit a slab.
Mojo.
Shohei Ohtani Gem Mint 10 rookie card for free last Friday. It has been replaced with a Gunnar Henderson Topps Chrome Gem Mint 10 rookie card. Go Birds, Johnny.
Here we go. Johnny's starting it off.
Birds.
Here we go.
All right. I mean, look, it's been a long road, man. It's been a long road since the NFC and AFC championships have ended.
I feel like it's been forever, dude.
I know.
Oh, my God. And it sucks that there's no football on this weekend.
Why the air quotes, by the way?
I don't count the Pro Bowl.
Me neither. Me neither. No,
like,
okay,
there's
I
no
got
reason
you. I didn't even. We will be looking at the Pro Bowl in just a moment, by the way.
All right.
Good old producer Ben here said, let's do a look at Pro Bowl and how it affects card comps. And I chuckled. I said, Ben, this is the worst idea I ever heard. I love it. Let's do it. Let's do it. But I did want to start with something I saw. Now, here's a guy who I think all of us love to watch as a player. And he's recently started a career as a talking head, if you will. That's Cam Newton. That is Cam Newton. And I was going on the Twitter yesterday trying to, I want to ease into the Super Bowl. We can't do now let's look at the Chiefs defensive line against the Eagles offensive line for 7 days straight. It's just boring. And I saw Cam Newton yesterday. I think it was on First Take. So, take that with a grain of salt. But Ben, do you have the Cam Newton clip pulled up? Because he said something that I think would blow a lot of people's minds. And I kind of wanted to look into it a little bit more because it's interesting to hear the perspective from a former MVP himself. Here, this is what Cam Newton had to say yesterday on First Take. Thank you, Ben.
I don't think that's Cam Newton.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know.
What,
is that what's going on here?
Cam started rapping? I didn't know that.
That's my goat. I've never heard any player ever. I've never heard any journalist, any personality.
Thank you, BX.
What's up, BX? No, because I think it's interesting, to be honest, BX. Jawws, I will let you go first, though, because you seem like you're like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
No, because the thing about, like, first of all, his takes are as wild as his outfits. Like,
sure, no, I agree.
His outfits, like, first of all, I've never seen somebody cut a hole in their hat just to fit their hair. Never seen it before. Just don't wear hats.
I kind of like
my
it.
thing.
I kind of like it.
But yeah, but also, like, I mean, he was, but at the end of the day, he's not entirely wrong, because the whole point of playing football, you have one goal and one goal only. Nobody cares about your individual accolades. You know what I mean? The number one thing is you have your goal. You can win the MVP as many times as you want. Look at Peyton Manning. Imagine if Peyton Manning never won a Super Bowl, but he won all those MVPs. What would people think about him?
Yeah, but I mean, I think I know what you're saying. What do we say about Dan Marino, Ken Griffey Jr., Allen Iverson? You know, the list goes on and
Absolutely.
on. It's what we say. But like, is there a certain level of honesty that Cam Newton is saying here?
Yeah.
That we don't consider as fans of people who talk about this game, as from a hobby standpoint, of people who buy cards, right? Like, we did this.
Absolutely.
And I think this was the reason I want to start the show with this is because of the conversation we had yesterday about Josh Allen. Yesterday we talked about Josh Allen's card market, how it has, look, nothing sizable, but it has taken a dip since the AFC Championship game, because I think people are saying, wow, he will never get there. There's no denying, though, that Josh Allen is a fantastic football player.
He is, but he's not, like, yes, he's elite, but he's not there yet. You know what I mean? Because just like the conversation that we had, what would, like last week, what would happen what would we say about Josh Allen if he finally beat Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, and
nothing.
Those cards, what do you mean, nothing?
I would say nothing.
I would say a ton.
Why?
Because this is a huge, I think getting to the Super Bowl in and of itself,
right, but
beating Patrick Mahomes is a huge
But that's not your
feat.
Super Bowl. You have to win the Super Bowl. Okay, let's say if he beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, right? And he lost in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Well, at least he beat Patrick Mahomes. Where's his trophy for that?
I think there would be one. Because yes. When we talk about Joe Burrow, when people talk about Joe Burrow, I think people talk about Joe Burrow in a different light compared to Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, because he beat Patrick Mahomes, because he got to the Super Bowl.
Well, also, he's a great football player.
Oh, yes.
On a crappy team, though, unfortunately.
I mean, the team's all right. He still has Jamar Chase, T. Higgins,
right.
So you know what I mean?
Okay, you have 3 players out of 54.
I hear you.
I've never seen somebody who is in the conversation for MVP. You have a triple crown wide receiver, and you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Look, sad.
I'm not putting any of that on Joe Burrow, but going back to this Cam Newton thing, you didn't have to tell us that, Cam Newton, for us to already know it. Cite the clip of Cam Newton not diving for the football in the Super Bowl.
Oh, 100%.
2, I think he's got a point here, Jawws.
Yeah.
I think he actually has a decent point. And BX, shield your ears here. Because he then went on Twitter and he said, quote, "They love honesty until it doesn't fit their narrative." And I do think that is a little bit of truth. And I think it's a little bit humbling for us as fans, as collectors, as people who love sports, is that at the end of the day, these guys are just people who, when their career ends, they got to think for years and years and look back on their own career and say,
what if?
Well, no, for Cam, he doesn't say what if.
No.
Cam Newton says, I'm the freaking MVP of the NFL. And for me, I would rather have that than, being a career backup quarterback, being a guy who's viewed as a game manager like Trent Dilfer, and
Brad
being
Johnson.
or being able to get past that final thing. To you, Jawws, does that kind of make you second guess, the whole ring culture that we have become mired in? And then, looking at, because I've been looking at the Super Bowl, obviously, it's all I've been thinking about, Patrick Mahomes, obviously one of the greatest already. And
Absolutely.
we could do, and I do think at this point in their career, all that matters for Mahomes now to become the greatest is if he's able to hit that 7-ring mark of Tom Brady. But I don't know. Does it make you kind of think differently of how we should be viewing guys? Like, I understand not everyone's going to be able to win the Super Bowl, not everyone's going to win the NBA Finals, but guys like Dan Marino, Ken Griffey, Allen Iverson, maybe Josh Allen, maybe Lamar Jackson. Do you think it's unfair for us to kind of look at him this way?
No, because realistically speaking, if Patrick Mahomes never won these Super Bowls, what would we think about?
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a double-edged sword.
Exactly. Because the thing is, yes, the same way we talk about Allen Iverson, he killed the game, he did this. Kobe Bryant was doing it as well. But Kobe got to that threshold and Kobe won championships. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, I know. I know.
You know, so it's kind of like that. Just like you said, it's a double-edged sword, and I just don't. I don't know. I feel like you're not the man until you become the man. Like you're at the top. You know what I mean?
Do you think if you were to pull any of the quarterbacks right now, like Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, I'm trying to think of another top quarterback right now that hasn't won a Super Bowl.
Burrow?
But could be. No, Joe Burrow. Like, do you think any of them, if you were to ask them in 10 years, would feel the same way? I think no way, to be honest with you.
Great. If you really think about it, they all have one common enemy.
Patrick Mahomes. Yeah.
You know, so I feel like for them, it would be a complete, like, what if? Oh, if Mahomes got hurt one time or if Mahomes didn't play, we would be there, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like every quarterback now that's elite, that's in that conversation, like MVP conversation every year, I feel like they would all have the same common thing. If Patrick Mahomes wasn't there, what situation would we be in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess, but that just means you're not the best. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what it is. Right. I just couldn't believe I heard that. You know what I mean? It's like all this talk. What's up? Yeah, all right. I agree. It's the corduroy hat is the cherry on the top.
Thank you.
The corduroy hat is the absolute cherry on the top. Big Tonka. Look, I just couldn't believe I heard that.
You're on that Tonka thing too?
Oh yeah. What do you mean I'm on that Tonka thing too?
I can't. Not yet. I can't. That big Tonka thing is killing
So wait a second. You're allowed to walk in here and tell everyone to call you Jawws?
That's my nickname.
But Big Tonka, who's been here since day one at Suncoast OG?
He gave himself that nickname.
How do you think Big Dog got that nickname?
But he gave exactly. But the thing is but everybody calls him. Listen, we're talking about sports. I'm not talking about nicknames.
Oh, we'll be talking about nicknames all day, baby. I'll do nickname talk all day. More on that later. All right, Jawws. Let's look at the Super Bowl, baby. Come on, I've been putting it off for so long.
What's up, Ledoux?
I don't know if it's because I'm scared. I don't know. Get a dog if you're scared. I don't know if it's just because, there's so much time to fill. But I want to dive in a little bit. Ledoux, it's Big Tonka to me, baby. I'll have your back, Rothschild. You will call me Big Tonka, all right? Super Bowl storylines. I wanted to look over a couple Super Bowl storylines. You know the name. Look up the number. Saquon Barkley, Jawws.
Yeah.
I did a little deep dive. Didn't take a lot of diving. It was a shallow dive, to be honest with you. And I have a question that I've been bouncing back and forth in my cranium recently. Saquon Barkley might be the single best player I've ever seen play for a team I root for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's not a hot take. He is.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at the highlight
100%.
reel. Like it's
100%.
it's fantastic. It's probably him and funny enough Carson Wentz 2017. If people forget how good he was.
Yeah.
You don't see guys get signed, especially in the NFL. You don't see guys get signed and elevate a team
like that.
Is Saquon Barkley the greatest free agency addition in NFL history? Is the question that I pose to you, the question I pose to myself, and the question I pose to you good listeners over here on Fanatics Live.
So, and I was just about to, Patty, thank you.
I know, Ledoux. I thought about that too.
If Saquon wins, if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, yes, 100%. I will agree with him being the greatest free agent pickup of all time. But just like Patty just said, Tom Brady.
NFL, Ledoux. NFL, by the way. Yeah. Because I thought that as well.
Yeah, 100%. No, right now it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady literally left New England, went to Tampa that year, became the first team to ever win the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
So
so it's like.
So I Jawws, and I hate to agree, and I if our guy Austin in the back, every time I see him, he throws some Tom Brady fact or stat at me.
I can't stand Tom Brady, but that at the end of the day, you have to look at him as a fan and as a realist. He's greatest player of all time.
Well, sure, greatest player of all time. But so I'm doing my deep dive because it's not very deep. It's very easy to find some information on free agency. Here's the list I found. All the lists had the same top 4, top 5 free agency additions in NFL history before Saquon Barkley. Number 1 on so many of the lists were Reggie White, the former Eagle going to the Green Bay Packers. Yep. And listen, was he a big addition? Was he a great addition? Absolutely.
He was a game changer. Yeah.
But I believe it took Reggie White 3 or 4 years on the Packers before they won that Super Bowl.
Right.
So for that right away, look, was he great for years to come? Did he was he maybe that final piece to help that Packers defense?
Yeah.
Sure. But the impact wasn't as instantaneous. You didn't see those results.
Year, exactly.
So I'm not going to say it's not Reggie White. Peyton Manning is a great shout, Big Tonka. And I remember playing fantasy football that year, and a lot of people who were fantasy football experts were saying, oh, I don't know this year about Peyton Manning. Maybe draft him a little bit later. Who knows? New culture, new coach. Might take some time to get used to. Wasn't it his first game as a Bronco? He set every fantasy football scoring record. I feel like 6 touchdowns or something like that. It was awesome. But they didn't win a Super Bowl in Denver for a couple of years with Tom Brady, with Peyton Manning. So for that, I will pump the brakes. 7 touchdowns my first week of fantasy football in my life. There you go, Big Tonka.
Nice.
Peyton Manning is absolutely up there, but they didn't make it to the promised land the first year with Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees is another one that I think is highly slept on. I forgot, right? 5 seasons with the Chargers. That sounds crazy to me to say. I don't think of him as a Charger at all.
I think a lot of people forget that he played for the Chargers and how bad his he almost didn't play football ever again after the shoulder surgery. So
Drew Brees, they signed in 2006. Is it an amazing free agency signing? Absolutely. But it didn't have the instant impact.
It was what, 09?
09 or 08 sounds about right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Saints, Colts, and the Hurricane Katrina.
Yep.
Just freshly off of that, one of the best stories in sports. I can't deny that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the first year he did it with the Saints. I saw another one on all these websites, Kurt Warner. And don't get me wrong.
Oh, the Cardinals?
It's a great, I think they're talking about the first one with the Rams.
Oh, the
because
Rams.
They signed him out of NFL Europe.
Yeah, well, he was at a grocery. He was bagging groceries, dude. Like, it's insane.
Is it a great signing? There's no doubt about it. But that's just luck. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. That's just luck. You've signed Kurt Warner from...
Greatest show on turf, man.
I know, but to me, like, that's not that great of a free... Like, it's a great free agency signing, but, like, I don't know. A guy came out of nowhere. It's a better story than it is, like, an actual, like...
I mean, they literally made a movie off of it.
Right. It was a bad movie. It was a bad movie, but, a movie nonetheless. Yeah. And then the other one that I saw was Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders signed to the San Francisco 49ers. 6 interceptions that year, 3 pick sixes that year. Helps them win a Super Bowl. That's a damn good one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So to me, there's 3 that are above all of them. It's Deion Sanders, it's Tom Brady, and it's Saquon Barkley.
You can't say. I mean, you can say Saquon now, but I think he would go over because the impact he has on that entire team. Like that, as soon as they signed him, instant leader. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like he's actually putting, like, yes, Deion, great football player. But as a defensive player, you're preventing the other team from scoring, right? Saquon is scoring.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
he's scoring
Saquon's putting points on the board. You know, like Deion had to rely on the offense as well, which they had a great offense at the time to score. So it's like there was more to it. Because if you take Saquon out, like, off of the Eagles, where do you think they would be?
The Eagles?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, I don't think it's totally...
Like, it's kind of one of those, like, what ifs, once again.
I know, but I mean, this team without Saquon made the Super Bowl 2 years ago, right? I think it was a better version of Jalen Hurts that year, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think Saquon Barkley, if the Eagles are able to win the Super Bowl, I want so badly to say he's the greatest free agent signing of all time.
And I would agree with you.
But I think Pat called me on it immediately. How can you argue with Tom Brady, man? It's so tough. Like,
100%.
Just one season, bang. Like, there's no downtime in between. You sign with the Buccaneers, who I don't want to say had been starved. Like, they've been a pretty good franchise,
Their defense
all in all,
was
last 20
all
seasons.
They needed was a captain for the ship. Like, it's literally what it was.
I want to say Saquon Barkley so bad, but if I'm going to be completely honest, I do think it would be Tom Brady with the Buccaneers.
It would be kind of... it would be up there.
It's right there.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
There, yeah.
It's right there. But Tom Brady, and then the other thing that I think is really the cherry on top, while on the topic of Tom Brady and that Super Bowl, I think, and I don't like saying this, Jawws, I think we need to give Brady even more credit. Because think about this. There's only one guy to ever beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
That's Brady, yeah.
And it's Tom Brady. Yeah. And, dude, Tom Brady and that Bucs team, they didn't just beat Brady 31-9.
But can we be realistic, though?
What's up?
that defense was
For the
dogs.
Bucs? For the Bucs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah. No,
dude.
you're right
Like,
about that.
They destroyed Mahomes and that entire team.
You're right about that, but let me try to think 2019, right? Who was their quarterback 2019? I want to say Mike Glennon? Was it Mike Glennon or Jameis Winston?
I think it was Jameis.
Either way.
Yeah.
Sure, the defense, fantastic.
Yeah.
But I think that's even more to your point, or even more to my point, actually. Tom Brady, unfortunately, the greatest free agent addition of all time.
Yeah.
I wanted to come here and you know the Zach Galifianakis hangover meme with all the numbers going around, and I wanted to do the spin zone of how Saquon Barkley if you look at the wins above replacement, Saquon Barkley, it's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate to say
feel
it.
you.
Having said that, Saquon Barkley, I think, second best free agent signing
high second.
in the
Very
NFL,
high
like
second.
a 1B kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which just brings me to something I saw going viral, resurfacing this last week. Ben, it's the first biggest loser in sports hyperlink here. Sean Morash, who works at WFAN, New York Sports Radio. Sean Morash. I am not here to call for people's jobs. I am not here to judge other people how they make their money. I have called myself a loser many of times. But Sean Morash is the biggest loser in all of sports, and this is why. Ben, go ahead.
Is that when the Falcons beat them? Oh, man.
This is cringy.
That's the guy from... Why does it look like the guy from Mad TV?
You know
what I'm talking about?
I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man.
But and Tail Gunner, you're absolutely right, Tail Gunner. He's up there, no doubt. But I'm not top 3.
You have to put that video and the Giants or like that one clip. As soon as you mention the Giants and Saquon, everybody remembers that one clip with the owner sitting on the the desk.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, if Saquon goes to Philly, I'm gonna lose sleep. That man hasn't slept since August.
At Friedline, you should be thanking him, Sean Morash. That guy, the video is just so cringy. This was week 2 against the Falcons, by the way. I keep receipts, Sean Morash. I have never seen such like a fugazi, trying to get some clicks, like a the fake laughter, the just yelling, calling Saquon Barkley a loser. You want to know how much of a loser Sean Morash is? On his Twitter bio, it says host of the Boomer and Tiki Show, or host on the Boomer and Tiki Show, or something like that. Buddy, if your name isn't in the show, you ain't a host. All right? Why are you trying to say you're a host? You're a producer. You're a producer on the show. I've been a producer before. You don't get paid the same as the host, all right? Let me tell you that much. This guy is farming for clicks. He is hating Saquon Barkley, who is, by all accounts, one of the best human beings in all of sports, and I've heard many people attest to that.
Yeah.
What? I just had to bring that up because it grinded my gears. I couldn't believe that.
Your name isn't part of Talkin Slab. Are you a host?
That's what I'm talking about, Big Tonka. Talkin Slab with Big Tonka and the other guy. That's what I'm talking about. But it gets worse. So I think a huge storyline is Saquon Barkley and the big free agency addition that, to our point, it's top 2 if he wins the Super Bowl, top 5 if he doesn't. He ends up being up there, like Tail Gunner said, with Peyton Manning. We had and Patty Reggie White. He's just the same as those other guys. If he wins the Super Bowl, top 2. It's him and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone else. The other big storyline, and this is ultimately, Jaws, the finishing blow to me on why I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. Let's go back to the only Super Bowl the Philadelphia Eagles have won, 2017.
Yeah.
What's the play you remember, Jaws?
Philly Special.
Of course, the Philly Special.
Yeah,
one of the best, most iconic plays of all time.
Do you see what Tom Brady says about that?
What did he say?
Every time he watches a video, he was like, Nick Foles is better than me because he caught the ball and I didn't.
Yeah.
Remember, because on that one play where he down the sideline.
And Malcolm Jenkins smacked Tom Brady's butt and said, come on, 12. Get a catch, 12. Oh, I remember that. Oh, it was awesome. But the play that look, it's not as awesome as the Philly Special, But the play that actually won that game for the Eagles was the Brandon Graham strip sack with the Patriots going down the field to win, to tie the game up, to take the. I can't remember the exact circumstance off the top of my head, but the Patriots could have at least tied or taken the lead on that drive.
I think that year was kind of like the real definition of that, and then when the Broncos beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's like the real definition of defense wins championships.
Well, it's funny you say that in a game that was 41-33.
Yeah.
That set a record for the most passing yards in Super Bowl history.
But it comes down to the end.
It comes down to that one play.
You see 4 zeros.
Brandon Graham, I want to say he tore his bicep, which, first of all, that sounds like a terrible injury to have.
Yeah.
It just sounds like very painful.
You said he's back, right?
He's back.
No way.
Brandon Graham is coming back for the Super Bowl, Jaws. Brandon Graham this season said, this will be my last year.
I was just about to say, this is it, right?
No ifs, ands, or buts. He was breaking down in tears earlier this season after he got the diagnosis saying, I can't believe my career is ending this way. This is it for me. And what would you know? They had to get back to the Super Bowl for Brandon Graham to get back onto the field. And he's coming back. Is that not a storybook? Is that not a fairy tale? Like, you think the Eagles, if you're not up enough to play the Super Bowl, it came out yesterday, it is official. Brandon Graham will be active. He is practicing. There is no pain. He was limited in practice.
I was about to say, how much do you think he plays, though?
I think he plays a good amount.
Really?
I think he plays a decent amount because the other guy from your New York Jets, thanks for nothing, Bryce Huff, that's the guy who he was taking snaps from this season. So I think they're going to play Brandon Graham instead of Bryce Huff in this game.
It's unfortunate, man, because it's funny because I actually have a Bryce Huff signed Eagles jersey that's just sitting in a.
Why? Why the hell?
I want it. I want it at an auction.
They should pay you to take that, honestly.
And it literally says "Go Eagles" and bold. It's a white jersey. And I was just like, and it's funny because I was just about to say, if
you couldn't pay me to take that, honestly.
You know what's funny? If the Eagles won, I was going to give it to you.
Jaws, that's very kind of you. That's very kind of you. But respectfully, sir, I'll pass on that one.
Listen, I'll bring it in one day and I'll show you.
Maybe we can hang it here as like a bit
upside down.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. Our friend Sean Morash is back, though. Sean Morash, the guy who, look at what he said. Is Brandon Graham really going to be a selfish pig and take the opportunity away from somebody to dress for a Super Bowl just so he can rush back from an injury he cried about? What is wrong with this guy, man?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, what is wrong with this guy? Is there anyone who feels that way? Like, Brandon Graham, this isn't like some Make-A-Wish story. Brandon Graham was playing really well his last season. And then I think there was another tweet he said about calling Brandon Graham. Oh, yeah, thank you. This was it. What a loser. Get a grip, head up, and suck it up. In regards to Brandon Graham crying over his NFL career being over. Listen, talk about not giving a guy the time of day, and I shouldn't be giving Sean Morris the time of day because this is probably what he wants. I just don't understand how this man is employed.
But I want to know.
Like, this is a guy in New York City media.
Yeah. I want to know what injuries he's ever sustained.
Sean Morash?
Yeah.
You're right.
A stub toe in the middle of the night walking to the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean?
Pretty serious.
A paper cut.
Yeah,
you know,
it can hurt pretty bad.
But have you ever tear your bicep?
Dude, you ever tear right?
Like, you ever tear anything? Like, listen, I've torn both meniscus, like ACLs, like I've separated shoulder. I'm all jacked up.
You've torn both meniscuses?
Yeah.
Meniscuses? What's the proper?
Yeah.
Torn both menisci. I'm gonna go with menisci.
I guess menisci. Yeah, sure. I don't know.
How bad does the meniscus hurt?
Yeah, you can walk.
Okay.
But like you're very, very gentle with it.
Okay.
Like I've listen, and when people tear their Achilles, I feel for them because I was.
Oh, dude, I thought of the Kevin Durant video.
I was like 14 and I strained my Achilles one time and I was on crutches.
Oh man.
And it was a strain. Like, dude, it was probably the worst pain ever.
I always theorized I tore my meniscus playing goalie when I was 12 years old and my parents wouldn't take me to the doctor. They're like, "You're fine."
Really?
Yeah. I was like, I felt something, Mom, and it hurt for a month.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It happened when I was in the Marine Corps. It like ballooned up. It was ridiculous.
Marines, me playing goalie at 14. Who's to say? Who's to say what's tougher to us? I don't know.
Yeah, you're a hard charger, bro. There you go.
All right.
Thank you for your service.
I don't want to get myself in trouble here. Ledoux, remember the Kevin Ware injury? Ledoux, I try to forget, man. I try to forget. But how could you forget? So I do. Unfortunately, I do want to talk about the NBA a little bit today because there is some crazy buffoonery coming out of that league. And I'm not talking about the All-Star game. All-Star game selections were yesterday. Yippee!
Adam Silver is a bum. I just want to say that.
Yeah, remember the Alamo. Absolutely, Turley. I always remember the Alamo. NBA All-Star Game trivia question today because we had selections come out yesterday of the reserves. Victor Wembanyama, woohoo! I did a quick Google search. No card comps are affected. The card market did not move at all. I was hopeful. I was hopeful for you Wemby holders out there. But however, congrats to Wemby. Congrats to the guys who won the All-Star Game. LeBron James has 21 All-Star appearances. Insane. I believe this will be his 22nd. He leads all players in NBA history with it. It's crazy. What I was wondering is, out of all active players, who is the second most? Because not only does LeBron have the most all time, he obviously has the most of any active players.
Chris Paul?
Who is the second most of any NBA All-Star appearances? Here are your choices. Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and James Harden. Those are your choices here for today's slab or no slab trivia question. Let us know what we're thinking. LeBron has, I think this will be his 22nd. But out of all these other guys, I don't think Chris Paul made it this year. I would wager to guess the other three.
Nah, him playing with, being with the Spurs, Antonio. He's kind of like he's on the back burner of his career.
You're calling him an unk? Giving him unk status? Uncle Chris?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. No, that's Grandpa Chris. Unk. No, because Kyrie's getting called unk. Now, Chris Paul is Grandpa.
Who's calling Kyrie unk? Let's go. Oh, wow. By a razor's thin margin. Wow. Josh trying to throw everyone off the scent. Kevin.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it was it. As soon as you said Durant, because I don't want to cut you off. Yeah. But I was just like, it might be Durant.
Dude, it's actually not even close. Durant, I believe, selected to his 16th All-Star game. He moves into top 5 all time, I believe. Really? I think Chris Paul and Curry, all three of those guys had 10 or 12. So it wasn't even close.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because the thing about Curry didn't start balling until his 5th or 6th season. He's, you know what I mean? So it's I knew Curry wasn't the answer. But yeah, no, Durant. It's crazy because Durant being on the Suns now, he's kind of he's still playing, but he's not you see the Suns are playing. Well, you know what I mean?
Honestly, man, that's kind of like the whole NBA. That's a whole different discussion.
Did you know I was doing research last night too. So LaMelo Ball led the backcourt in Eastern Conference, in all the Eastern Conference. You know he was not named an All-Star.
Why?
I guess because I guess the front court were so heavy.
Okay.
Because literally when I was doing my my homework, I call it homework for this, and it popped up on my Facebook, and I was just like, "There's no way." He led the backcourt in the Eastern Conference, but I guess the front court was so loaded that everybody basically on the front court made the All-Star, and he didn't.
Odd. I would give him the Jello boost. He's a real tweaker.
I might swerve in that corner.
It's fantastic stuff. Before we kind of look over towards some of the shenanigans coming out of the NBA, another example of it. Did you have any? I know I have a couple things on here about the Super Bowl storylines, but did you, Jawws, have any Super Bowl storylines that you were keeping an eye on? And anyone in the chat, let me know you guys got a Super Bowl storyline. I mean, we have a whole week to break things down. Yeah. I'm just kind of floating stuff out there, as I let it marinate over the weekend before we go total Super Bowl mode next week.
I have a bet with my friends on how many times they're going to show Taylor Swift.
Okay, that's classic.
And, we have a drinking game, but I don't. But I've been practicing sobriety for 2 months now.
There you go. You go.
I gave all my friends. I was like, hey,
what's your number?
Oh, at least 7.
7? Yeah, Langley, I think that number's too low. 7. I think that number's too low.
Over under 4. I think over under should be 5.5.
Yeah. Oh, no. If we're including start of broadcast, end of trophy ceremony, way more than that.
I think every time Kelsey gets the ball and gets the first down and does his little. They're gonna show. They're gonna show Taylor Swift hugging his mom.
Oh yeah, for sure.
High-fiving each other.
Other things I noticed at the Super Bowl. Have you realized how old everyone is in this? As in Andy Reid, coach of the Chiefs, 66 years old.
That's crazy.
Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator of the Eagles, 66 years old. I think it's Vic Fangio's first Super Bowl, by the way. That's crazy. Steve Spagnuolo is 65 years old.
Spagnuolo's 65?
65 years old.
He looks great.
That's a good point.
He looks great, dude.
Eagles offensive line coach who maybe one of the most underrated best coaches in the NFL, Jeff Stoutland, 62 years old. And I forget his name now. It's something Tobe, special teams coordinator on the Chiefs. He's also well over 60.
I have a question, though.
Yeah.
With all these, because, the Saints are struggling to find a head coach and everything, because Mike McCarthy said, no, I'm good. Cliff Kingsbury said, I think I'll stay in Washington for another year. How come nobody's giving Steve Spagnuolo?
Well, we talked about this on Monday.
Dude, insane.
I think if you're Spags, well, first of all, the one left is the New Orleans Saints. And from all reports...
Nobody wants...
Well, from all reports, that job is as good as done. And it is one of the coordinators playing in the Super Bowl, Kellen Moore. It sounds like Kellen Moore is going to be the Saints head coach. We talked about it on Monday. The dream scenario would be Spags going to the Buffalo Bills if they fired McDermott. I think that would just be must-see TV.
And then the Bills come back and finally beat the Chiefs.
Travis says, I tried to tell Jawws 100 times Commanders would not make it through the Eagles. Yeah, you did. You did pick the Commies, didn't you? You did.
Listen, Tortoise. That's one of my best friends. Listen, you got to give respect where respect is due. They played a hell of a game. Defense, incredible. But now, can they carry that into a team? It's basically everybody's kryptonite. The Chiefs is everybody's kryptonite. Eagles couldn't get past them. The Bills have tried time and time again.
For Tom Brady, only one who has.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So it's
and Joe Burrow, I guess. And Joe Burrow. I'll give Joe Burrow the props he deserves there.
Yeah.
He lost Super Bowl, but he got past
and I say it time and time again. I've been saying this since the playoffs started. If the Bengals were in the playoffs, it would be a whole different story.
I agree.
Different story.
I'm rolling my eyes at Turley with this refs thing. Even as an Eagles fan, Turley, I am not bringing that energy into the Super Bowl. All right, I'm not at all.
Oh my God.
Come on now, Travis. Let's see the other question now. If we're gonna talk about the refs and all that, the tabloid TMZ nonsense, the last Super Bowl storyline I will bring up to you before we save some of this rest of the stuff for next week. The tush push. Should it be banned, Jawws? We do this every year. Rex, you're right. You're right.
First of all, if you look at if they every time they show the camera down the line, every player is offsides.
Yes. Ben, would you mind putting up a poll, by the way? Should the tush push be banned? I want to see what people say. Continue. I'm sorry. I just thought of that. On defense, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're always offside. Listen, it is a rugby. It's a rugby play.
Sure.
That's exactly what it is. Don't get me wrong. Sirianni and them beautifully coordinated how they implemented it into their offense. Because the thing is, nobody's stopping that. And then you have number 4 from Washington.
Frankie Louvu. Yeah.
How many times you gonna dive over?
It was must-see TV.
Oh my God.
It was hilarious.
And then I learned something new about if they're that close. I mean, first of all, you can't half the distance to half the distance to half the distance. All the center has to do is just lift it up a little bit, and you're in the end zone.
It's ridiculous.
But I didn't know the refs can award a touchdown.
Well, I think whoever was on the broadcast did a good job of explaining it, and being at a certain it's the officials can kind of control whatever they want. The officials they have the the agency or the executive power to just be no. I know this might not be in the rule book, but come on, let's go. That's a touchdown. Go Birds, Marshall.
Yeah, but really, if you really look at it, you think Washington was stopping them?
No,
from before they even called the penalties.
Just playing devil's advocate, the Commanders did stop them earlier in the game on a tush push, on a boneheaded call by Sirianni to try to tush push it in instead of taking the extra point. Jason says, Jawws, is that a Darnold jersey? Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Last year watching the Eagles, I said they need to ban the tush push. I could not stand the tush push. And that's you as a fan. As a fan of the Eagles, I said this is so stupid. To me, what it showed to me last season, keep in mind last season, it proved to me that the Eagles weren't capable of gaining 1 yard, that they had to rely on what I was calling a gimmick. Now, this season, the tush push has become worldwide, if you will. It has become NFL-wide.
Yeah.
And I've watched many teams fail at the tush push. The Bills, number one.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of teams. Now, one of my favorite variations of the tush push, using your tight end to run the tush push.
Yes.
I think that's actually a smart kind of don't put your quarterback in harm's way. Dude, this is a close poll right now, by the way. It's 44 yes, 56 say no. Turley, tush push should not be eliminated if done. What? What are you saying, Turley?
All right.
Wow, Charles was happy there, Turley.
We're not trying to get canceled here.
Tip your cap to you, Turley. You almost had me. Well done, but hello. No, thank you. We got 55% saying no. I am ultimately saying the tush push should not be banned strictly because other teams cannot do it. And I used to say yes. It's a credit to Jeff Stoutland. It's a credit to the offensive line. And damn it, it's a credit to Jalen Hurts and those, man, talk about quads.
Dude, his legs are ridiculous. Like, it's unreal.
I'm surprised, though. I'm surprised that most people said no. I feel like as neutrals, that's an infuriating play to watch. And there was a lot of outcry, specifically after this Frankie Louvu debacle about the tush push.
Yeah.
So I was surprised.
It's all about discipline if you really think about it.
So, all right, let's take a look here at the Pro Bowl. I want to establish the Ben's. He asked me a question last night. Pro Bowl. Does it matter for our card comps or not? And I said, Ben, I shouldn't give this a time of day, but I will because I think it's fun. Ben, would you mind pulling up? I think I linked it here. The clip of Sam Darnold last night. Sam Darnold popped off. He was playing in the Pro Bowl, and look, don't get me wrong. I'm not putting any weight into this is Sam Darnold last night. This clip was going viral. A lot of Vikings fans were saying, where was this 2 weeks ago, Sammy Sleeves? Guy couldn't miss, and I forget who else was doing this.
He did a seance and got rid of the ghost.
Look, the lights were not too bright. They had him in a nice temperature-controlled dark room here. Said, Darnold, don't worry, no one's watching this. Have at it. You're wearing the jersey today. But Friedline's calling for Darnold at the Colts. I think, that actually makes sense, Friedline. I don't hate that.
Darnold's like, no way.
Oh, Jason.
No way. First of all, they put way too much time and energy into Anthony Richardson.
So
way too much
whole
time.
Different discussion. So now, would you do me the honor, Ben, of showing me Sam Darnold's card ladder after last night? Because, oh, man, Darnold, what a display in the Pro Bowl. Everyone's talking about it on Twitter. Come on now. Offseason, he's going to go to a different team, and nothing. Absolutely bupkis. If anything, it went down. It was like a little reminder for people being like, oh, Sam Darnold still exists. He still sucks. Let me sell the cards for less. There was no movement on the Sam Darnold card ladder, unfortunately for you Sam Darnold card holders. I thought maybe it was a nice reminder. Ben, would you pull up the volume of Sam Darnold? I was like, maybe it was a nice reminder that he exists. Maybe people were like, let me try to sell some cards, try to take advantage of it. Maybe there was more Sam Darnold cards being sold. Sorry, Sam Darnold card holders. It's not looking great for you. Let me see the exact number. It's like a comedic number of amounts sold yesterday. The volume yesterday was $13.26 yesterday, according to Card Ladder, of registered Sam Darnold sales. $13.26. That big spike you see? Yeah, that was losing in the playoffs. So clearly, our hobbyists, our card holders,
that's crazy,
still have our priorities straight. Now, there was another clip I saw going viral last night of Justin Jefferson. You see this one last night?
I have not.
Oh, my
goodness. I was at the game last night, so I was at the Lightning game, so I haven't seen no highlights yet.
Believe it or not, having third-row seats at a Lightning game took precedent.
Yes.
So Jason says it in the chat, Pro Bowl has fallen off so bad. I saw a lot of tweets saying, R.I.P. to the Pro Bowl. Listen, I never liked the Pro Bowl. We already did a little topic on it yesterday. The Pro Bowl is dead. They should have gotten rid of it a long time ago. But, look, first of all, this starts off as kind of a cool idea. Let's have Justin Jefferson make some cool catches. What is this?
What is
this?
He got Hulk hands on?
Right? And then I don't know if this clip shows it. They're like, all right, now we're going to have Jefferson do a diving catch.
Oh, my. What?
Who's watching this, man? I know Ben was watching it. No disrespect, Ben. But who's watching this? Oh, couldn't even do the diving catch. This is what the Pro Bowl has come to. Not that the Pro Bowl was ever anything good.
No, the Pro Bowl fell off when they stopped doing that quarterbacks challenge. You had
the longest throw.
Yeah, you had Cordell Stewart Bledsoe,
legend.
Favre.
But wouldn't you believe it? Wouldn't you believe it? Hold on just a moment. What about Justin Jefferson card comps yesterday? Because when Ben presented me this idea, card comps based on the Pro Bowl, I said, that's a joke, Ben. That's stupid, but I do want to look into it. This was Justin Jefferson's card ladder yesterday.
Are you serious?
What?
How?
What? This is like I didn't fudge the numbers. This is from the third-party source.
What?
What is going on, man? It looks like Justin Jefferson's card ladder, his card comps, took a drastic increase yesterday.
My man got Hulk hands on. Oh my God.
I literally wonder, Jaws, I do wonder if this is a kind of this Cooper Flag discussion we had earlier. Personality matters when it comes to collectors. And I think that's what this showed us here. No one is kidding themselves and they're running out to buy Sam Darnold. I checked Jared Goff too because Jared Goff apparently had an awesome skills challenge.
Yeah, the accuracy, I think it was, yeah.
And Jared Goff's didn't matter at all. But I do think there is something to be said about personality when it comes to star athletes. Jay Jettas is I think a very marketable. He looks cool. He's got one of the best receivers ever seen.
That dude, those necklaces and those grills.
And those necklaces and the grills are awesome.
God, dude.
And look, I'm not knocking Josh Allen for opting out of the Pro Bowl. Hell, if I was invited to the Pro Bowl, I might opt out because it's so ridiculous. But accepting the Pro Bowl, going on national TV on a Thursday night where there's nothing else to watch, putting on these Hulk hands, having fun with it, and not just being this robot. Clearly, like, something had to happen. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but I don't know. There's a reason that his value didn't move for 10 days straight or whatever in a disappointing season with the Vikings.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he comes on, does this Pro Bowl, silly goof. Look, it's goofy, skills challenge, and people are at home and go, you know what? I love this guy. I'm going to go buy some of his cards.
Exactly, but also as kids.
Right.
Kids see that and be like, yo, I want Hulk hands.
Right.
And then they're sitting there getting bolted in the face with trying to catch it with Hulk hands. You know what I mean? Like,
but I shout out to Ben because it's something I would have never thought of. I thought it was a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then I saw the Justin Jefferson thing and I said, wow, there actually might be something to the kids here, to like make yourself
crazy.
more approachable.
That's wild.
All right, here we go. Slab or no slab giveaway. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Who's taking our first one down? And Dart, that's an awesome name. Dart Skull, a legend of the hobby.
As we're talking about the skull.
Oh, no, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Darth Skull. I've been rocking with Darth Skull here in Breaking Rooms of Mine for years now. Love to see Darth Skull. Let's go, Darth Skull. Congratulations to you. You got it. 125 or 50. I will pass out if it's a slab today. I'm telling you right now. Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was. 4 for Frankie Luvo.
Boron, listen, as a Jets fan, I gotta. Okay. I was gonna wear my Chiefs jersey, but Connie said if I still wanted the job here at Suncoast, I can't wear it.
Do you know if you're on next week? You can wear it next week. You can wear it next week.
I don't think so.
Brian Robinson Jr. rookie card,
Nice.
I believe. Max impact to 60 going to Darth Skull. Yeah, not bad.
Nice.
Not bad, Darth Skull. Not bad at all for the free. Spectra coming out not too long.
Appreciate it, Boron.
Buyback, Jets buyback.
Yeah.
No, the Jets would be bankrupt. You think Woody Johnson would ever do the right thing, Boron? I don't know about all that. No, thank you, Darth Skull. Appreciate you hanging out.
Appreciate you, Skull.
Never. 10:45, by the way, guys. Stick around. 10:45. We will be doing another giveaway of that.
I actually have my a custom jersey coming in. I got Jawws on the back of it. I got it in black.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You're a Jersey guy. I respect that.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days we're going to give away the Bryce Huff autographed jersey for Slab or no Slab or add it to the wheel. There was one more piece of card news I wanted to show to the good people here before we moved on. Did you see the Topps Series 1 Paul Skeens preview Topps tweeted out yesterday?
No.
Oh, in case you missed it. This is one of my favorite. It's a lot of people's favorite inserts.
To be honest, man, last night or yesterday, I slept all day and phone was off.
Yep.
Girlfriend mad at me.
Yep.
And then I woke up at 5 o'clock and I was like, oh yeah, we got to go to the game tonight. I cut off everything.
Dude, look at how sweet this is.
That is beautiful.
Listen, Topps Series 1, we had Transcendent come out, we had Definitive. We all know Topps Series 1, decent product, but it's not as big as the others ones. Look at the All Aces card for Paul Skeens this year.
That is dope.
baby. I mean, it is one of my favorite card designs of the entire year. A hook, line, and sinker. I saw this tweeted out by Topps yesterday, and I got a little extra pep in my step, excited for Topps Series 1 because, look, I'll be blunt. I'm not like circling Topps Series 1 release day, calendar day on every year.
But also, this would be a cool card to
I gotta give them credit. They did a good job of making it like extra fun for collectors, especially the schemes with the follow back insert, and now seeing the all in aces card design, all aces, card design this year. So that is kind of my little card dive for today between the Pro Bowl and Paulie schemes here.
Hi,
I had Jimmy Neutron. I had two fun things that cracked me up on Twitter this weekend.
Dude, Twitter has been, or X, whatever you want to call it.
It's Twitter. I'm calling it Twitter.
It's still Twitter. I will always call it Twitter. Like the stuff, I just be scrolling, and the stuff you see on there is
it's a gift.
Insane.
It's a gift.
I love it though.
So this is the first one for me. One of my favorite things in the entire world, Jaws. I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure or just like a pleasure. Chinese buffets. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
You go spend $15. Oh, you can just load your plate up with lo mein, chicken and broccoli, dumplings. Oh, I'll try that sushi. What the hell is that? Yeah. It doesn't matter.
You go to a buffet and don't get judged.
Right.
Pretty much.
You go to the buffet. Someone tweeted this out. I believe it was in Kimball, Tennessee. A makeshift koi pond at a Chinese buffet. It's just like they built a barrier.
Stop it.
It's just a normal tile. They have water flowing in a koi pond when you walk into a Chinese buffet.
That's a sinkhole waiting to happen, dude.
I couldn't believe this, man. It cracked me up.
Right there.
And what surprised me more is I'm reading the replies in Twitter. Apparently, this is a semi-common thing, especially in the Midwest. Can anyone attest out there? Has anyone seen a makeshift koi pond? Friedline! Okay, wait, no. So that's there's a sushi spot here where the floor. That sounds classy. That sounds cool to me, Friedline. I've seen a lot of people talk in the reply saying your first time in Tennessee or your first time in Indianapolis. I actually saw a lot of people in Indianapolis saying this is quite common, Friedline. A buffet and say, are you sure it is more jerky? So this is actually more common. Insane. Because this blew up on Twitter because there's a lot of people, I don't know if it's a Northeast thing where this is totally
not
crazy
proper,
to me. Yeah. It's just looks so they built the whole buffet and they're like, all right, we got this weird patch in the front where we're just not using. Let's build a little barrier, dump a bunch of water in here, and throw 3 koi. Call it a koi pond.
Well, also, I remember going to, I think it was Texas Roadhouse, the first time going to Texas Roadhouse.
Never been, by the way.
And
looks awesome.
They get the peanuts. You eat the peanuts, and you throw the shells on the floor.
Yeah.
So you walk in, and it's just crunch, crunch. And you're sitting there, it's why hasn't nobody cleaned this up?
Dude, I'll be honest.
But I guess it's it's a thing there.
Oh, Freeline says you can't do that anymore because of COVID.
Oh, really? Oh, well,
there's gonna be a vein that pops out.
Well, you missed the train on that one.
Damn it, man. Dude, I will say, I am a slob personally, but I am a slob. I try to be a slob in my own domain.
You're a generous slob.
I try to keep it, a buck when I'm out at restaurants. I feel like I couldn't throw peanuts on the ground. I feel like if I'm throwing peanuts on the ground, I need to, start cursing at my waitress or something like that, too. It's
exactly.
Clean it up for me. You know what I mean? It's horrible. Exactly. I don't want to do that. I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's not the kind of guy I want to be. That's not how I was raised, to throw peanut shells on the ground.
Exactly, yeah.
My second thing I want to share, I want to get a little goofy. It's a feel-good Friday, I was doing my, I'm a nerd. I'm a Phillies baseball nerd. I was reading, Jaws went to a bar in Albuquerque, shells everywhere. Gross. Peanut shells or like shellfish. Either way, not great. I'm not a fan of that. But the second thing I saw was Phillies. I'm reading up on their prospect reports, doing nerd stuff. And I saw a picture of Phillies top prospect, Aiden Miller. All right? Ben, do you have that image ready to go? Do we see it?
Is that, what's his name?
Timmy T, baby. Yeah. Do we see a resemblance here? Because I saw a picture of Aiden Miller, and I'm like, hold on a second. Who is this devilishly good-looking movie star?
Down to the mustache.
Right?
That
a little skinny mustache. And look, as a stashman myself, I can appreciate, a little youngin' with a weird-looking stash.
You do have a great mustache.
Oh, stop it now. Stop it now. It only took me 5 years to start this thing. I don't know. I think we got to add Aiden Miller to the potential list of lookalikes. Now, someone can call me out. We got Jared Goff and was it Ryan Gosling or Ryan?
Yeah,
It's Ryan Gosling.
Gosling.
Jared Goff and Ryan Gosling. Tyler Glasnow and Cillian Murphy. And
Yes.
and now I think Aiden Miller and Tim, that mustache looks like a 14-year-old. That's what they say about me too, Brett. But you know what? When you're handsome like these fellas,
That's funny.
you can pull it off. I'm just saying. Let me add that to the list of good athlete lookalikes. Am I missing anyone else? There's no one else that comes to mind. Give me a good athlete lookalike. I might be missing there.
Man, like I feel like everybody has a doppelganger.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody. You probably don't know who it is, but people say I look like Faruco. It's he's a Spanish
Bless
rapper.
you.
Yeah, exactly. He's a Spanish rapper. They said that I look like him. I remember I went to go see my girlfriend at work one time, and this guy came up to me. He was like, "Yo,
No way. What?
you look like DJ Khaled." I looked at him.
You
Swear
don't.
to God.
No, you don't.
Exactly. Thank you. And I looked at. I was like, "That's my cousin." He was like, "Yo, can you say what's up there for me?" I was like, "I'll call him when I get in the car, bro."
That's
like,
messed
don't worry
up,
about it.
man.
I got you.
Dude,
Literally, dude.
The insensitivity that person had to come up to you and tell you
Literally,
look like
blatantly to my face.
that's messed up, man.
He was like, "Can you say another one?"
Oh,
I
no,
was
you're lying. Did he really?
Swear to God.
And that's
Yeah.
how you got the nickname Jaws. He was the guy you punched in the face.
No. Hey, no. That's not what we talked about this off camera. Bro.
I'm sorry. Turley says he gets mistaken for Eddie Munster. Good lord, that's.
Oh man.
I'm sorry for you, Turley. Oh my goodness.
Tell us the truth.
No.
It's a family show, man. I can't.
No. War turkey. That might have to be in the DMs kind of
Yeah,
thing.
you
All
might
right.
have to hit me up on that
All
one, bro.
right. Anyways. Moving on.
Everybody has a pass. Just saying, bro.
I just wanted to have a little feel-good Friday today with a couple of goofy things I saw on the internet. You know what's not goofy to me? The NBA. Quite frankly, it's pissing me off, to be honest with you, Jaws.
Bro, it's a comedy show.
Comedy show. They dropped a new episode yesterday. They actually dropped 2 new episodes this week. First episode was Adam Silver, but the second episode, see what happened with Terry Rozier?
No, I was I saw it on the list, but I didn't see anything on it.
Brother, another player gambling on his own games. It's the same thing that happened with Jonte Porter. Yes, sir. It's the same ring that was betting on Jonte Porter. They have connected back to Terry Rozier.
Did you see how much Porter won?
No.
Like $20,000.
That's it?
That's it. He lost. I think they say he lost like 85% of his bets. There's a video. There's literally a video of him shooting a 3 and trying to miss it because
and he makes it in.
Yeah, and he makes it in, and you see his face. Instead of getting happy, he just like rolls his eyes because I think that game he had like half a point. It was like 0.5 3-pointers made, and he made it.
I'll be honest. I gamble myself. You know,
exactly right.
I've eased back a little bit because I've been reading more and more about like how horrible it is. But you know, I enjoy it. I do it healthily, but I understand it's not the case for everyone. Dude, Terry Rozier. So apparently there was one game they took heavy action on Terry Rozier in March of 2023. They took Terry Rozier's like at 2 p.m. that day. They were like, what the hell's going on? Why are all these people betting on Terry Rozier? They took all of his props off the board. That game, he plays 9 minutes and leaves the game with a quote-unquote sore foot. Which to me, it's like, brother, you better be tearing your meniscus going back to our conversation.
Did the same thing with his back.
Right, with Jonte Porter.
Yeah.
Look, it is not confirmed yet, so I don't want to bury a man, innocent until proven guilty. But this is bad to me, man. This is very bad to me that this is now your second athlete in 2 seasons. Listen, all of these sports have had their problems. Jamison Williams and Isaiah Rodgers Jr., they were suspended in the NFL for gambling, but both of them, one was worse than the other. Jamison Williams was betting on the NFL, but it was while he was injured, and he was just cooking up parlays in his free time. He lost all of those too, I believe, if I remember correctly. Exactly. And then Isaiah Rodgers Jr., I think they popped him for betting at like a facility, one of those things. This to me is way worse, obviously, in the NBA. Like, you're betting on yourself, and you're betting on yourself to do bad. Oh, brother.
Yeah,
the NBA's got to figure it out.
It's ridiculous to me.
The other thing in the NBA, this one, it's made its rounds. Adam Silver on the Dan Patrick Show. I know I'm a little bit late to this. I wanted to get to it yesterday, but I couldn't get to it.
Which, by the way, did you see Dan Patrick's outfit?
No. Well, we'll see it in a second.
Dude, he's wearing like a jumpsuit. Yo, he looks good, dude. Like, it's like, bro, Dan
Silver
Patrick
Fox.
got swag, dude. Like, oh my God.
This was Adam Silver talking to Dan Patrick sometime this week about his suggestion for an NBA rule change.
Look at the fit.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. 10-minute quarters. 10-minute quarters. NBA ratings at an all-time low. Everyone's talking crap about the NBA. Even the best part about the NBA is honestly the TNT at halftime show where they talk crap about the NBA on that show.
Listen, Ernie Johnson deserves all the credit, like for that NBA countdown on TNT.
I don't know. I would give Shaq and Chuck a lot of credit.
But him starting it up. Because it was him, Kenny, and Charles, and then they added Shaq. But like watching like Ernie be like the mediator between Charles and Shaq is the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah,
dude.
it's an impossible job, and when he just tries to power through and keep talking about his topic. So here's my question to you, Jawws. Do you have a tweak? Do you have any sort of solution? Because 10 minutes is the most tone-deaf, stupidest solution I've ever heard of from Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA.
One of the things that I think about all the time is what Kobe said. Kobe said, like, told his wife, I believe, that, and then his wife came out and told everybody, whenever he was hurt, she would turn around, oh, take a game off, like, you need to rest. And he turned around and said, listen, there are fans that are traveling from around the world to come see me play. I'm gonna make sure they see me play. Now it's all about business, which understandably, like, listen, you're still a human being, but just a lot more gifted than others.
Yeah.
And you have the opportunity and the advantage to play these games. But if you're tired, but you're getting paid millions of dollars, guess what? You don't get to be tired right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Like, if you look at Joel Embiid has missed like 48% of games in his career.
Way different. I mean, he's had real injuries.
100, but to take half a season off because of he stubbed his toe. You know what I mean?
That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
I know.
You know
I know.
what
There's more to it.
Right.
But also, if you're getting paid millions of dollars and you have the team, like you have the medical team to heal you better than, like, if I hurt my back or like you hurt your back. Yeah, we have to go to a doctor.
I got a crick in my neck today.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I'm gonna have to go home after Slab.
Exactly. But they have, like, you have a medical team that's getting paid also millions of dollars to heal you back to health.
So all right, we're on the same page here, Jawws. By the way, Rec chimes in and says, and you're right. I don't think this is get off my lawn at all. I think it's just a fact. It's this generation of NBA players is soft as Charmin. But it's because the NBA has allowed them to be that way. And it's become the new culture and the new norm.
100%.
So I got in the lab yesterday, and I came up with a proposal here for how to solve some of the problems here in the NBA. Let's embrace debate here, all right? Bear with me here with my solution here. First things first, it's not making the games 10-minute quarters. You just shorten the season to 70 games and eliminate back-to-backs completely. All right? That seems like an easy solution. People aren't watching the NBA. Just shave 12 games off. I know the record books won't look great, blah, blah, blah.
There'll be an asterisk.
Yeah. So be it. We need to make a change that's drastic.
Yep.
First change, shorten the season to 70 games. No more back-to-backs. That seems pretty simple to me. Now, this is where things, I think, could get even more interesting. You know how the NFL has a league-wide physician, I believe they call it, at every single game? Especially for head trauma and all that. The study showed, Adam Schefter tweeted out saying, the NFL had the lowest amount of concussions.
Like, what, 17% it dropped or something like that?
It seems like fake news to me, but whatever.
Guardian helmets aren't even open. But
how about each team, not each game, each team is assigned an NBA physician who has to examine every single player that gets put on the injury report and, like, really, like, not hold anything back. If the players are deemed hurt, if the physician says, all right, they're hurt, you're good, sit out, no big deal. But if there's a player who might be milking an injury or just trying to take a game off, you don't get paid your game check.
100%.
You say, all right, you want to take the game off? That's fine.
Yeah.
You're not going to get paid, though, to just take the game off. All right? Then we're going to take it a step further. That money, it's still going to go somewhere. It's not going to go right back to the NBA. Your team is fined a certain amount of dollar based on your star level as well. So not only are you not getting paid your game check, your team is getting fined, and there's tiers to it. If you're a max player, you're fined this amount.
How do you determine that?
Based on your salary. If you're based on the same way they do the maxes, the super max, you can do a fine. And then this is like example. If you're Jason Tatum, you see how much he gets paid in a 70-game season? It's $900,000 per game missed. So it's not like oh, these guys are so rich it doesn't matter to them. Bradley Beal would be $700,000 for a game.
And he's missed a few games.
That's the name that came to mind for me. Migraines can't be proven. There's your out. A little bit tough there. I guess that's a good point, Rack. But the cherry on top for me with this idea that I had here is at the end of each week, you take all the money that was accumulated for players who were deemed, it'll be, if it's a migraine, maybe you dock them 100,000 or something like that. Like there's a tiers to this. You put all that money into a pool, and at the end of each week, you take the accumulated money and award it to the best defensive player every week and the best all-around player. Essentially, you're incentivizing hard play, defense, the stuff that the NBA was based off of back in the good old days. And you're awarding players, it would probably be a crap ton of money, man.
Oh, 100%.
We're talking millions each week on the line for these players who are playing, who are giving a damn. You know what I mean? Yeah. And look, I know it's long-winded. I know it's a little bit crazy, but I don't think there's any easy solution. This is like an epidemic of, to Rex's point, Charmin soft. A culture change needs to be made. What Jimmy Butler is doing right now, for example, this guy should be losing millions of dollars.
He's losing millions by the day.
Right.
He's losing a crap ton of money.
I just think we need to see a crazy change. That's my proposal. I know it's long-winded. I know it's crazy. And I know it probably won't ever be able to be, put into practice.
No.
But that's what I got, and I'm sticking to it.
I mean, you also got to think, man, I feel like the NBA, and between the NBA and NFL, they have the most changes out of any sport. The only thing that realistically the MLB has changed was the time. The clock.
Pitch clock, yeah.
Which I appreciate so much, because listen, going to Steinbrenner Field, in the middle of July is going to be brutal.
Then don't go. But you can't handle the heat. Get out of the kitchen, Jawws.
But I relax, okay?
I just hate hearing people who aren't baseball hardos, complain. No one told you to go to the game.
But also you got to think. All Rays fans, because obviously I'm a Yankee fan, but all Rays played in Tropicana Field. Yeah, it's a good 70 degrees in there. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's going to Steinbrenner Field. I feel it, and I say it constantly. It literally took a natural disaster to get the Tampa Bay Rays finally into Tampa.
That's true. That's a good. But
now, which I think is smart, because now they're gonna see where's the fan base at? Let's see if we can fill out Steinbrenner Field.
14,000, I believe.
That's what I'm saying. But if they can't do that, then they might as well just halt all construction for the new Rays Stadium. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. And I think they kind of are already, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a whole weird situation there. Yeah. But no, that's my NBA bit. I mean, I can't believe the NBA has come up multiple times this week on our show. That's how you know it's down bad in terms of waiting on the Super Bowl, just to be honest with you. And on that note, Jawws, let's go back to football real quick here before we close it out. There was a ton of head coaching changes, and I don't even think we talked about the Cowboys hiring Brian Schottenheimer. Or
you see who their DC is?
Remind me.
Eberflus.
That's hilarious.
I'm pretty sure they brought Eberflus back.
No, I think you're right. So we'll just quickly review the coaching carousel review. We never really got a chance. Cowboys hire Schottenheimer. Jaguars hire Liam Cohen, who we already Duval. Raiders
fire him immediately. I hope they go 0-17 just because of that.
The Raiders hired Pete Carroll. The Jets hired Aaron Glenn, and the Bears hire Ben Johnson. So quick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. Rank the hires from these NFL teams.
Ben Johnson 1.
Yep.
Aaron Glenn 2.
I think that makes sense.
There was 5, right?
Yeah. Pete Carroll Raiders, Liam Cohen Jaguars, Schottenheimer Cowboys.
Pete Carroll 3.
Okay.
And those 4 and 5 are like low 4 and 5s. Like I think Liam Cohen would be 4, and then Schottenheimer would be 5. Your offense had no production. Granted, Dak was hurt and stuff like that. But other than that, Schottenheimer 10. Schottenheimer would be 33 if there was 32 teams. You really didn't have a lot of production. You have defensive players that don't even want to play for you. Mike McCarthy was not a bad coach. And I say the same thing about Dak. If Dak was on another team, he would not be talked as bad about. But you play for America's team, you're going to get that.
I agree 100%.
You know what I mean?
I hate to admit it. Exactly. I would love to dunk on him, but
that's just like playing for New York.
Right.
You're in the Big Apple. That's why, like Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones went to Duke. You have Zach Wilson went to BYU. But now you're putting these small guys into this big city in this really big media.
Point. It's a good point.
What I mean? So you have to stand on that platform and be like, hey, time to get it together.
I am with you on the list on 5 and 4 for sure. I do want to give Liam Cohen a little bit credit because he's getting absolutely torn apart, but he's totally leaning into the meme. And I feel like that's the only way you can go. There was another reporter who, he was
I see you've been practicing. He was like, Duval, bro.
He's leaning into the meme. And you know what? There's no other way to do it. You got to have some humility here. I appreciate a self-aware coach. I mean, Nick Sirianni with the flower speech, he got torn to shreds.
Torn.
2 Super Bowls later. So, I'm going to, but it's bad. It's bad. I'm going to go Schottenheimer 5, Liam Cohen 4 as well. I'm going to go Ben Johnson at 3, actually.
Okay.
Now, on paper, going to the offseason, there is no doubt Ben Johnson was the number 1 candidate.
Yeah.
I just have a lot of questions about the Bears as a team, and I have a lot of questions as Ben Johnson as a leader of men. I did not like his gimmicky trick plays. I feel like Ben Johnson...
Really?
I feel like Ben Johnson was given a full deck of cards to play with, and I would not be surprised if he struggles a little bit when he has to work with a worse offensive line, when he has to work in a system that, he might not be as comfortable with. It's not as good as Detroit, obviously.
Right.
And it's tough to be the big man after, having a big leader like Dan Campbell.
I would run through a brick wall
exactly.
for Dan Campbell.
Now, I'm obviously not in the Detroit locker rooms, but Ben Johnson, he seems kind of normal. A little reserved, just very normal. Look, that might work, don't get me wrong, but I am a little bit worried about Ben Johnson in Chicago, and I'm going to keep that same energy, and I will eat a big pie of crow next season if he's excellent. I think Caleb Williams will look fine, but I'm talking about the whole team.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 2, Aaron Glenn.
Yes.
Which, you know what that means my number 1 is. But Aaron Glenn, I think it's a really good hire. I think it's actually a better hire for the Jets in terms of your fit.
Wait, I just realized who your number 1 is going to be.
I
want to hear that.
I think Aaron Glenn is a really good fit with the New York Jets. They have always hired defensive-minded coaches. And listen, let's call a spade with the Jets. They need a culture change, and they need to kind of do a 50-50 retool and rebuild. The one part of that team that I think we can all agree on is a strength should be at least their defense. I think Aaron Glenn will be able to maximize their defense and instill a better, not the best, Woody Johnson's still there, but a better culture in New York.
I just feel like they just need a light lit, under their, what.
100%.
You know what I mean? That's exactly what it is. That's why I was very high on Rex Ryan.
Coming back
and changing that culture.
See, I think Rex Ryan's been enjoying that desk over, and he said he wants to come back.
Yeah, he said.
I don't buy it. I think he's been enjoying that NFL Live desk.
Oh,
who could blame him?
Yeah.
And number 1, man.
Really?
Pete Carroll to the Raiders. I think, and I didn't think this right away. This wasn't my initial reaction. But I'll tell you more about that in just a second because it's 10:45.
Let's go.
It's time for Slab or No Slab. Let's go, baby. Giveaway is about to run. 50 card wheel. 3 of them PSA graded cards.
Yes, sir.
Who's taking them down today? Good luck, everybody. A happy Friday. Let's send you into the weekend with a bang. Slab or so. What's up? Oh, his wifey. Are you going to do it again? The first 3-time winner in Slab or No Slab history. His wifey looking to make it happen. Good morning to you, his wifey. Call me crazy, though. So far, I think Pete Carroll is actually the best hire in this entire circuit. And the reason is, I don't think the Raiders are going to make the playoffs next season, but I think in terms of fit, this is exactly what the Las Vegas Raiders need. You look back at the coaches for the Las Vegas Raiders, Jawws, it is disgusting. I don't think people realize how horrible the coaches of the Raiders had. You've had absolute clown shows from the Raiders year after year. Let's go back. Last year, Antonio Pierce. I'll be honest, I really liked Antonio Pierce's first year. Do you remember the first clip that came out of the Raiders this season?
They're sitting there and smoking the cigars in the locker room?
That's pretty bad, but no, not that. When they were beating up on Kermit the Frog on a tackle dummy with Patrick Mahomes' face on it.
Yes.
That was the first clip that came out of training camp. And Antonio Pierce, I hope he gets another chance. I think he could be a good head coach. I saw that, and I go, this team is a joke. Yeah. And then you saw the whole season, they were absolutely terrible, uncompetitive in every single game. Antonio Pierce, sorry. Josh McDaniels.
Don't get me started on that guy.
You know what I mean?
He's and then him going back to New England, as a Jets fan, having to see him twice. I hope with that culture shift in New York that fingers crossed they have, that we just beat the dog crap out of him, because I cannot stand Josh McDaniel.
And I doubt his players could stand him. Yeah. Listen, he is viewed as he was like the OG McVay at one point, where people were like, look at this young savant, and then they gave him a head coaching job, and they're like, oh, you're a jackass.
Oh yeah, exactly, dude. It's
it's not end well for McDaniels. Rich Bisaccia, who out of all these guys, he's like professional.
He was a special teams coach, right? Yeah. I liked him, and the team liked him.
But the reason he ended up being the head coach was because of the guy before him, John Gruden, who, look, for a while...
Did you see what Mark Davis said about Gruden?
I did not. What did he say?
So he basically said, because sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off or anything.
You're gonna
did you see how... So, for me, I keep saying that Josh McDaniels set the team back 10 years. Mm-hmm. That's what Mark Davis said about Gruden.
Wow.
And then now he's saying that Tom Brady stepped in and basically filled that void and is going to do what he thought Gruden was going to do, but Gruden got his head chopped off and basically bled us dry. Damn. And it was just dude, that team was in shambles before Gruden even got there.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true. Because you go Gruden, this could take us back now to 2018 for Gruden. Yeah. That was when he was coaching the Raiders. And out of all these guys, we want to talk from an X's and O's standpoint, probably the best.
That was your guy, yeah.
That was your guy, but in terms of head coaches, leaders of men. Look, John Gruden, listen, would I run through a brick wall for him? It depends. But let's call a spade a spade. Guy blew it. Guy, like you said, totally ruined culture-wise. Yeah. Las Vegas. Guy before him, Jack Del Rio. More of the same.
Yeah, he was.
Guy before him, Tony Soprano. I'm kidding. Tony Sparano. I don't think he went 3-9. You know what I mean? As the coach.
Yeah.
Dennis Allen before him went 8-28 as the coach of the Raiders. We see how he's doing. Guy before him, Hugh Jackson, pinnacle of mediocrity, went 8-8 as the Raiders. Guy before him, never heard of him. Who's Tom Cable? I don't know who Tom Cable is, to be honest.
The cable guy? I don't know.
17-27 with the Raiders.
He went. I guess he went and fixed the cable, and they're like, "Hey, you want a job?"
Guy before him, Lane Kiffin, 2007, went 5-15.
Wow, Lane Kiffin. I didn't.
Dude.
My God.
Guys before him, Art Shell and North Turner. Art Shell went 2-14. North Turner went 9-23. You probably have to go all the way back to Bill Callahan in 2002,
with Rich
2003.
Cannon. And that was a team right there, man.
Right. John Gruden, the first edition of John Gruden. You have gone. There are people who were born in 2000 who have never seen a legitimate, grown-up, good NFL head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. Yep. And I do not think that the Raiders will make the playoffs next season. But in terms of just finally, to me, this is kind of like a tourniquet on the Raiders franchise to, like you said, Gruden, from Mark Davis, you said, chopped the head off the Raiders organization and bled him dry until now. The Pete Carroll hire, in my eyes, I know a lot of people hate it, and I don't think it's a splashy save the entire franchise. Who knows how long he's going to be there? It's a bridge. I think it's a bridge head coach. Same way you talk about a bridge quarterback.
He's the oldest head coach now.
75 years old, I believe.
That's insane.
But remember what I just said. Super Bowl coaches. 66-year-old Andy Reid. 66-year-old Vic Fangio. 65-year-old Steve Spagnuolo. I get it. Sean McVay, friggin' Ben Johnson. It's sexy. They're young. They're these savants.
Well, I think McVay's not going to coach very long. Either.
I know he said that, but I think he's one of those guys that's just like addicted to football. I think
because he said he wants to go into broadcasting.
I know,
because he said when Stafford and Donald leave that he was done, and then when Donald surprisingly left last year, dude, Donald played 9 seasons.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
It's
smart. It's smart.
100%.
I don't shame a man for keeping his health and being one of the best of all time.
Because I remember being like, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to football. I was like baby, but like you have like Barry Sanders. When Barry Sanders walked away after 9 years, and people were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And now look at him now. You know, no CTE. He hangs out with his sons all the time. He looks great for his age.
Does look great.
But now before you had these dudes playing 15, 16 years that can barely walk now, you know. Mm-hmm. But now everything, and it took me to like actually grow up and be like, okay, this isn't like for entertainment. It's a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's a life, you know, for these guys. Yeah, no, for real.
Like, listen, I'm gonna play my 5-6 years, get paid a maximum amount.
Luke Kuechly, Andrew Luck style.
And be gone.
Tail Gunner. I love this comment from Tail Gunner, by the way. Russ or Geno to the Raiders. Now, look, I'm not saying Raiders to the Super Bowl, but I stuff like that is the reason why I actually have Pete Carroll number 1, because when you look at these head coaches, what's Schottenheimer going to change in Dallas? I will be shocked if all of a sudden the Cowboys are now Super Bowl threats because Schottenheimer took over. Liam Cohn, is he really going to be this Trevor Lawrence whisperer?
No.
I would be shocked. Ben Johnson, look, I think he can be good. I would like to be proven wrong. He's clearly a good X's and O's guy. I think he can elevate Caleb Williams.
I think Caleb Williams is going to have a better sophomore year.
And I do too, but I don't think we're coming in here next season and talking about Bears for the playoffs. I really do not.
No. Not at all.
Then Jets with Aaron Glenn, same thing. I don't think they're going to become a playoff team, but I do think it can tweak that culture enough. That's why I have them too.
A man can dream.
And you're right to have those dreams. I think Aaron Glenn's a good guy for the job. The reason I think I have Pete Carroll 1 is because the Raiders are just such an unserious franchise for all these years. Why would anyone want to sign there? Now you give him Pete Carroll. You still have Max Crosby. You could get a guy like Geno or Russ. And listen, we're talking about Geno or Russ here. It's not like we're talking about world beaters. It could change a little bit. What's up, Tika, Eve Merch? What's going on? What did you want to say? You gave me a little.
Yeah, no. Because he's saying Russ or Geno to Raiders. I think the Steelers re-signed Russ. And and also you got to think Justin Fields plays a little bit like a young Russell Wilson. When Russell Wilson got drafted, who drafted him?
Pete Carroll. Yeah.
Justin Fields goes to Raiders.
I'll be honest. I don't think the Steelers re-sign Russell Wilson, man. I really don't know.
So
talking to Big Dog, talking to Steelers fans.
So what quarterback? What quarterback right now? Because they're not going to draft one. They're too high up.
The Steelers?
Yeah.
I think they re-sign Justin Fields.
Really?
Yeah, I think they bring back Justin Fields.
Really? Okay.
Or go with Sam Darnold in free agency. That's what I think the Steelers do. I think it's more likely that Russ would go to the Raiders, to be honest with you. I could see Russ to the Raiders. That'd be a fun little last dance kind of thing.
I can see Fields going to the Jets.
Wouldn't hate that either. Let's see. I always like to go.
Trey Lance.
Oh, I forgot about Poor Turkey out of left field. Trey Lance. I don't know.
I don't care too much about Trey Lance.
Here's the thing, though. If any team really wants him, what is it going to be? 5th round pick, 6th round pick for Trey Lance? It's like free, pretty much.
He was what, a 3rd overall pick by San Francisco?
He was a 3rd overall pick. I know he was a 1st round pick. That's crazy to say.
Yeah, because they traded up for him.
All right. I will throw out a couple fun as we go towards the Super Bowl. It's one of my favorite parts of the Super Bowl every single year, the prop bets. There's a big list of weird Super Bowl bets, so I'll just start throwing some out here. Will a player or coach cry during the national anthem?
Chris Jones cried during the AFC Championship when they won. Absolutely.
Nick Sirianni cried during the last Super Bowl during the national anthem. Crying. Oh, yeah.
It's going to be his last game.
Do you know the odds on this one, by the way?
No.
Guess what the odds would be. Do you have a guess? Anyone see this? Do you have a guess on the
Probably
odds?
minus 350.
Dude, you're kind of close. Minus 430 for yes to cry during the national anthem.
100%.
That was one of my favorite. All right, here we go. How about the TMZ prop? One more for you. Will Travis Kelce propose? Is a bet you can bet on.
No.
What do you think the odds are for this one, though? Well, anyone got a guess on the odds? Guess yes. Guess what yes is, actually.
Minus 400.
For yes?
Yeah.
You think yes is favored?
Yeah. No?
No.
Really?
Yes is plus 500. You can make some good money if you think old Travie boy's going to shake it off after the Super Bowl. No? Minus 950. Wait, War Jerky, you're saying proposal? Do you have a wager on the proposal right now, War Jerky? If so, propose and retire. Damn. All right, you can make some good coin.
I feel like a lot of players are going to be because just like you said, how old like players and coaches are. I feel like this is a last hurrah for a lot of players and coaches. I think Vic Fangio, as successful as he was, I think he's done after this season.
See, I have actually thought about this in my head as an Eagles fan because I love him and I don't want him to retire.
And he's a great coach.
I don't think he will because he's from Philly.
So he's home already.
Right. He's been waiting his whole career to get back here. I think his parents, working at 97.5 The Fanatic, listening to all his press conferences.
Whoa.
He's talking about the reason he wanted to come back to Philly. He always wanted to come back. I know his parents are older.
Yeah, his parents,
he can, see his parents still. He likes to eat he shouts at the Palladium. It's a South Philly bar. I think as long as he'll have him, he strikes me as the kind of guy where if he's not coaching, he's going to be on the couch wishing he was coaching.
Yeah.
So as long as he's capable, I think he'll be good for 3 or 4 years.
Man.
I hear you though. He's 66 years old, man. I know. It's not a bet, or at least I haven't seen it. Speaking of proposing and retiring, I think Chris Jones retires. I think Chris Jones retires
the way he cried.
Yep, someone pointed that out to me in the chat.
No reason for him to cry like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's we're just doing this again.
It's a good counterpoint to the Brandon Graham narrative that I didn't bring up earlier.
And they only signed him for what? I would think it was like a 2-year contract last year.
I couldn't tell you, but either way, I do love Chris Jones. If the Eagles were playing,
great football player, and I love how Karlaftis has stepped up this year.
I don't.
I mean, obviously not.
All right, before we are out of here, I want to give you my fun top 5. I hear you, War Jerky, which would be a shame, man, because he's not for a lot of fans of the NFL who hate the Chiefs, because it'd be a shame for just, like greatness. I'd like to watch Chris Jones. How about the top 5 at 10:55 today? The top 5 nicknames at Suncoast Sports is my list today, Jaws. Oh, man.
Y'all set me up, man.
Oh, buddy, you set yourself up. You didn't even look at the sheet. I didn't even put this on the last second.
No, it wasn't on the sheet.
No, it wasn't on the sheet. I gave it to you last second.
All right.
We got a lot of good nicknames here at Suncoast Sports, all right? There's been a lot of debate about my guy, Aaron. Does he have a legitimate nickname? I'm here to try to settle that for once and for all. Number 5 nickname at Suncoast Sports. A lot of people don't even know this nickname exists. It's a low-key nickname. It's our guy, Jason. The Iceman. I think it's so underrated. Someone started calling him the Iceman, and I can't get it to stick.
Okay.
I've been calling him the Iceman. It's from Top Gun.
I've never.
No one's heard it. That's why it's number 5.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I want it to stick. Jason, the Iceman. I love it. Number 4, Jawws.
I'm 4?
Yeah, you're number 4. Did you want to be higher on the list?
I mean, I think I have one of the best. I think I have one of the best
you
nicknames
worked here for like a week. Come on, you can't.
Okay. Listen, I respectfully, at least I'm on the list.
What's that? Yeah. There you go. I think it's a good nickname, but we have a really strong top 3. Because number 3, it's real. It's Big Tonka.
Oh my God.
Why are we pushing back against Big Tonka? I mean, it's a fantastic nickname.
We have no explanation, no job.
Listen, can you pull up the picture? Dude, that's awesome. Look at that. You're telling me you don't look at Aaron and think of this? Big Tonka?
What, the little guy that's by the tire? Yeah,
No, come on. Put some respect on Big Tonka.
The guy that's by the Tonka? Yeah, that guy right there.
I won't stand for it. If Big Tonka has 0 supporters, then I'm dead. Because that's a great nickname. Give me the Big Tonka.
Oh, God. All right. Hey, Boss Man said it's like.
Thank you. Big Tonka will be a thing.
I wouldn't say it even in a fire.
it's pretty good. No neck's pretty good as well. But I'm going to go with Big Tonka. Number 2, it's so classic. It's Matty Ice. You don't get more classic than Matty Ice. As a matter of fact, I'm back home. I'm talking to my girlfriend about my day.
I feel like I know who number 1 is.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Matt was doing this. And she's like, who's Matt? And I'm going, oh, Matty Ice. I'm sorry, man. That's what, she's like, even my girlfriend only knows him as Matty Ice. And of course, number 1, there's no doubt about it. Roof, roof. The big dog, baby. Big dog, easily. Number 1 nickname at Sunco Sports.
Patty said, Patty the Batty. He said he was snubbed.
Patty Mills is a better nickname than Patty the Batty. Come on now. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen.
Go.
Let's see who's taking down our slab or no slab giveaway. Go Birds, Milo!
Nice.
Let's go, Milo. The Eagles fan here. We got the Zach Bond jersey. Let's see a slab. Come on. 28, not quite a slab, but we're going to go with... Dude, nice. Not too bad. Gunnar Henderson, numbered to 250. Dude, you slab that thing up, and that would be worth something. Yeah. Gunnar Henderson, I think that's rookie card as well. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Gunnar Henderson to 250. That's a damn nice card right there, Milo. Congratulations, a Topps finest numbered Gunnar Henderson to 250. Let's go, Milo. A fantastic card, in my humble opinion. Jaws, are you ripping today? Are you on?
I am ripping today.
Get on over there, my friend. Great stuff, as always.
Appreciate you guys.
Have a fantastic weekend. Sir. Guys, fun show today. Thank you guys for joining me, as always. Very fun stuff. Milo, congratulations. Have a fantastic weekend. Try to fill that football void. I got a suggestion here. Fanatics Live, Sunco Sports. That's how you fill the void of no football this weekend. We'll be ripping all day, all weekend, 24/7. And with that, send it over to the guys. Stu the Chomp. Look, massive break in the store. Swamp King. We'll see ya. Have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for joining me right here on Sunco Sports.